Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to call to order the regular monthly meeting of the Houston County Board of Education for September. I would ask that we would silence our phones so as we would not disturb the meeting, and we will have a moment of silence. After the moment of silence, we would ask three great students from Centerville Elementary to come down and lead us in our pledge of allegiance after our moment of silence. Thank you. Thank you. Please stand. Come on down. Thank you all very much. At this time, we want to introduce our visitors with us, starting with Northside High School Principal Dr. Jody Dean. If you will introduce your guest, please.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson. We certainly enjoyed hosting you and the rest of the board last night at the work session. So I have with me today, I have two of our outstanding seniors, both seniors and students at Northside, as well as our teacher of the year. So I'm going to start with, we'll go ladies first, Miss Sanaya Arline. Before I start talking about her, we say a lot about Northside. We use the term Northside family, and generally we mean it in the figurative sense. But all three of the people that I brought with me today are there in the literal sense, because they are all either related to people who currently work at Northside or who have once worked at Northside. So starting with Sanaya, if there is such a thing, she is a Northside legacy. Her grandfather, Mr. Ed Dyson, was a former principal at Northside and a great mentor to me. All of her aunts, all of her brothers and sisters. Is there anyone in your family who's not gone to Northside? They've all been to Northside, right? So she's certainly a legacy. So Sanaya is the daughter of Mr. Calvin and Ms. Shanna Arline. She has 4 sisters and 1 brother. Her sister Mackenzie also attends Northside. She's a sophomore. Again, she's a senior. She is the reigning Miss Northside. She's also the captain of the varsity cheerleading team. She's on our principal's advisory council. She's a basketball manager. She's the Eagle ambassador, and in her spare time, she likes to watch TV. After graduation, Sanaya plans on attending Georgia College and State University, where she plans on studying athletic training. So Miss Sanaya Arline. All right, so next we have Tim Johansson. We'll go students. All right, so Tim is the son of Mr. David and Miss Susan Johansson. His dad David is with him today. He is also one of our teachers at Northside. He has 1 sister, Stella. Again, Tim is a senior. He is the goalkeeper on the Northside soccer team. I did have to have a conversation with what's the difference between a goalkeeper and a goalie, just that hockey soccer thing. So, he is in the Beta Club. He is in the Partners Club. He's also on our Principal's Advisory Council. He is an FCA leader, also an Eagle ambassador. He is on senior exec. He's also a leader in the Naked Nest. They don't really get naked. That's our student cheering section. He has a 4.0 GPA. He is ranked 10th in his class. In his spare time, he likes to play soccer, spend time with family, and spend time outdoors. And after graduation, Tim plans on attending college, where he goes to play soccer and study engineering. Tim Johansson. Now, last but certainly not least, Miss Christy Saeed. Miss Saeed is our current teacher of the year. She is married to last year's Northside and Houston County Teacher of the Year, Mr. Sam Saeed, back to the Saeed at Northside. She teaches special education. She was a stay-at-home mom for 4 years to her 4 children until 2001, when she started working as a substitute teacher in 2002. In 2002, Ms. Saeed was hired as a parent volunteer coordinator at Perry Primary. Harold Sapp was the principal there, and he told her that she would make an excellent teacher. She has. So at that time, went to Middle Georgia College in Georgia Southwestern, received her bachelor's in special education. She began her teaching career as the interrelated math teacher at Perry High. After her first year, she found her calling was teaching intellectually disabled students. She did note that teaching math was not her calling. In addition to her bachelor's, she also holds a master's and specialist degree. She is also a Special Olympics coach and has been for over the last 13 years and has taken her students to almost all local, area, and state events. And the one thing that I can definitely say about Ms. Saeed, she has a true passion for the students that she teaches, and she does a great job. Ms. Saeed.
Thank you. Next, we will have Montana Middle Principal, Ms. Allison Keenan. Your students, please.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for having us here today. I have two awesome students and a fantastic teacher here with me today. And we tell our students every day on the intercom to strive for excellence in academics and character. And these two students definitely do that every day at Bonner Middle School and have since they were in middle school. So I will start with Miss Eva Flynn. Eva is in the 8th grade. And Eva has been in our county since the 5th grade. Eva is from a military family, and Colonel Flynn, her mom, is with us here today, and her dad is a retired military. And so Eva's been in the county for 4 years, but she's been at Bonner Middle School since she was in the 6th grade. And we talked about how she's excited. This will be the first time she's actually finished in a school where she started. And so she's excited to do that. Eva is very involved at Bonner Middle School. She is part of our student council and continues to do that each year. She is very active in our partners club, and she plays second base on our softball team and is very great at that. And that's where I met Eva for the first time. She came up to me, and Eva wants to have the students start doing morning announcements with me every day. So she presented herself at the softball game. I said, I would love for you to do that with me. And so she emerged as a leader very early on. And she has a kind spirit. She wants to be involved, and she is a great leader in our building. And when Eva grows up, she wants to be in politics or public speaking or maybe a lawyer. And so we said that she would be awesome at that, and we're always looking for public speakers. And so Eva wants to share with you what she loves about Bonner Middle School.
I like about Bonner Middle School the Partners Club experience, because even not just the Partners Club with everybody in our school, no one is left behind and everybody is included, and it shows a great learning environment and a sense of community.
Great.
Eva Flynn. This is Donovan Long. Donovan is a 7th grader at Bonner Middle School. Donovan is also part of a military family, and so he has only been with us since he was in the 6th grade. So this is his 2nd year in the county and his 2nd year at Bonner Middle School. And Donovan's name comes up a lot. He didn't realize that when I shared that with him. He was very surprised, but he has a very humbling spirit. He, in the 6th grade, came to us from Virginia, and he won all the awards at the end of the year for academics. And so he excelled in our regular education classes in the 6th grade. And he also won the Principal's Award last year for his excellence in academics and character. So this year, Donovan's in our GTE program and has really shined in that area. He loves to read. He brought his book with him today. And we always love a lifelong learner and a reader. And Donovan is very active in the band and in chorus at Bonner Middle School. He plays the snare drum. And Eva at lunch asked Donovan, what is that? And he said, it's the light one. And so he does our pep band and our competition band. And he's also active in our productions at Bonner Middle School. And so Donovan would like to share with you what he loves.
What I really like about Bonner Middle School is the very large band. There are 365 odd students in the Jaguar band, which is very exciting for me because then it's lots of great music.
Donovan's a great sight reader. I told him that was something I was never able to do. I look up to him for that. Last but certainly not least, we have Miss Brenda Taylor. Ms. Taylor is Bonner Middle School's Teacher of the Year. She is also a top 5 finalist for the Houston County Teacher of the Year. And this is Ms. Taylor's second time in her career as being honored as Teacher of the Year, but first time at Bonner Middle School. Mrs. Taylor is in her 29th year of teaching. She thinks she's going to retire in a year, but I told her she's not. I told Eva and Donovan she was going to work till she was 70. I said, that's not old, is it? They said, no. Miss Taylor is, the kids love her. She builds relationships with kids, and even Eva talked about how she didn't love to write until she had Miss Taylor, and Miss Taylor really brought those strengths out in her, and she's able to do that with all of her children. Now, her first calling was a registered nurse, and so Miss Taylor worked for many years in the healthcare, and the Lord just kept calling her to the profession of teaching, and so she finally answered that call, and she went back to school while she continued to be a registered nurse to become an educator. And she did both for many, many years. She worked on the holidays and at night so others could be with their family as a registered nurse. And so just recently she retired in January. She retired from doing that and is, of course, still teaching. And one thing that Miss Taylor is very involved in our drama program, and she has really influenced so many people in her life. So if you don't know Miss Taylor, she has a daughter that teaches math at Bonner Middle School, Mrs. Hutchins. Her son, Mr. Taylor, is the director, the theater director at Houston County High School. Her oldest son, Matt, Mr. Taylor, is a teacher at Fady Mill Middle School. Her daughter-in-law is the woodshop teacher at Houston County High School, and her son-in-law is a teacher at Berry Middle School. And so she has influenced a lot of people in her life to become an educator, and I think that speaks volumes about her. One last thing that I think is funny about Miss Taylor, so when we started doing teachers college in ELA in middle school, she's thinking, what are you about to say about me right now? I can see it on her face. She gave the kids the rubric and said, I have to practice. And so she would give the kids the rubric and she would teach and say, okay, tell me how I'm doing. And so at the end, she would allow the kids to grade her. They'd say, well, you spent too long in this area. You didn't do enough in this area. And I think that shows what a great practitioner and an awesome educator Miss Taylor is.
Next from Centerville Elementary Principal, Ms. Ruth Ann Cotton. Introduce your guest, please.
Thank you so much for having us here. It's always great when Mustangs are in the building, so you guys are about to meet some great Mustangs that I brought. Every morning at 8:30, I say Mustangs make it happen, and these three that I brought make it happen every day. So the first one is Mallory Porter. You can stand up, Mallory. Mallory is in 5th grade here at Centerville, and her mother is Marie Porter, who works here in Human Resources at the board office. Mallory has an older brother who is at Northside. Well, he's in college, but he actually does helps with coaching at Northside High School. And she has a twin sister that's at Centerville. Mallory is one of our jacket winners. Hold up your jacket, Mallory. Every semester, every night, no, we do it once a semester. We honor some of our students as being a jacket winner. And so last year, she is one of our jacket winners. It's because of her Mustang Pride promises that she keeps every day and how she shows she's just a great inspiration for all of our students and a great leader. She's on the chorus. She's in our chorus ensemble. She is a safety patrol. She's out there every afternoon with me at the car ramp, and as hot as it is, and she's always out there. She's got her water. Her mom or somebody in her family gave her a cute little fan that she keeps with me out there to keep her cool. She and her sister both are out there with me. And now they have, I have to look at this, they have 16 pets. They have 5 chickens, 2 dogs, 2 cats, 1 rabbit, and 6 beehives. And of course, Mallory, when she grows up, she wants to be a veterinarian. So that makes sense. Thank you, Mallory. And then next we have Riley Justo. Stand up, Riley. Okay, so Riley is in 5th grade, also at our school, and he is in the GTE classroom. Riley, I forgot to say too, Mallory's been with us since kindergarten. Riley just started with us last year at Centerville. He and his brother came, but what great leaders they both have been. Riley is also a jacket winner. He has his jacket with him, and it's a very special thing to get that. We only give it to like 5 kids at every semester, and so to be a jacket winner is an extreme honor. Riley is also a safety patrol. He's on our jump rope team. He plays soccer. He wants to be a soccer player, professional soccer player when he grows up. That's what he's hoping to be. And Riley has just one older brother who is at the middle school. He's at Northside or Thompson, I can't remember. Thompson is where his older brother is. And so we've just been so excited to have Riley at our school. He's a great leader. Thank you, Riley. And then we have Sarah Keever. Sarah is our Teacher of the Year, and what a blessing Sarah has been at Centerville. Sarah has been teaching for 12 years. She got her bachelor's degree at UGA in Spanish, and then she went on and got her master's in reading and literature. But then she actually started in Bibb County in the TAP program. And then she got special education, and she also took the GACE to get early childhood. But we snagged her, Tanya and I snagged her from Bibb County. It's about 7 years ago. This is her 7th year with us. And she at first was an interrelated teacher. She's awesome with all students, but she was working with the upper grades kids, and we had an opening in 5th grade, and our 5th grade teachers are thebomb.com, and she wanted to be one of them, and so we moved her into 5th grade, even though we really didn't want to take her out of special education. But it's also great to have gen ed teachers who have that training and know how to work with our special education students. So she's been a blessing in the classroom. She's one of those who, when you watch her, there's just some things that can't be taught, and Sarah's one of those people. She just has it. She just knows what to say, what to do. She builds great relationships with all of her students. She's even gone and done the priming with some of her kids when they go into middle school because she wants to be there for them. Sarah is married to Cole, who works on base as a computer scientist. She has a middle schooler, Bailey, who's at Bonnier Middle. Mila is at our school in 2nd grade, and she has Max, who is he 2 yet? 18 months old, and she's just been an extreme blessing at our school, and I'm so thankful for all of our Mustangs that I brought.
Next, we have Lake George Elementary Principal, Ms. Tammy Godwin.
Yes, thank you so much for inviting us here today. Like all the other schools, I've had many, many blessings with me today as well. First, this is our Teacher of the Year, Ms. Lori Langevin. And Ms. Langevin has been at Lake George Elementary since Lake George began. She is that type teacher that is not afraid to stay after hours. The list could go on and on, but I'll just highlight a few things. She does her job in the classroom, of course, and she's an early intervention program host teacher, so she accepts all students just as they are and knows those 5th grade standards and where she has to get them towards the end of the year. But I will say that she not only does that workload, but she'll stay after school and say, Ms. Godwin, I really think, let's go do this after hours with all the staff. Or, Ms. Godwin, I think we might need a few upgrades in this school, so I'm going to get this together. Do you mind? And I always, at the Christmas party time, she'll come to Ms. Godwin, I think we really need to have this here. Do you mind? How much money do I have? So she's always looking for ways to improve Lake Joy Elementary. We actually even coerced her this year. She agreed to be our after-school program coordinator, which I don't know if you've ever been involved in that process, but it is not easy and it requires a lot of additional hours. And again, like her personality, before she even officially started, she was shadowing our former coordinator and spending hours and hours making sure she had all the documentation correct and knew what to do, when to do, and how to do. And that is actually how she runs her classroom as well. She is very well with expectations of these babies and getting them where they need to go. So I cannot say enough about Ms. Langevin and her heart for our students. So thank you, Ms. Langevin. Today I brought 2 5th graders, and what we do at Lake Joy is I turn it over to the teachers and I say I'm going to take 2 friends when we have our board meeting. And so I always tell the students this is such an honor because we have so many 5th graders. We have, I think this year, about 222 5th graders. So out of all those students, these are the 2 that were selected, and you will see why when I describe their personalities. Come on up. This is Abram Alston, and I'll tell you funny about Abram. When Bon Air student spoke, he looked over at me when the young lady sat there and goes, Ms. Godwin, I don't have to do that, do I? No, sorry, you sure don't. But Abram, I'll tell you, the teacher was so impressed with him at the beginning of the year because they had to nominate students for student council. And he did not even vote for himself. And she was just so impressed with that and the heart that he has. She said he is just a dream to have in the room. And he does the right thing. He's very sweet and kind and just a great, great student. His mother is with us today, and she actually works at Fayette Middle, so here we have another educator in the house. So, Abram, we look for great things for him in the future, and I've even gotten to know Abram outside of school because his sister and my daughter played volleyball at one time, so I've got to kind of get to know him outside the Lake Joy wall, so he is precious inside and out, so thank you very much. Next we have Malia Smalls. And Malia is also a 5th grade student. She is in the GTE program, and her teachers describe her as just being oh so motivated and just so kind-hearted, and again, they look for her to do great things on the way here. I love the drive over here because I learn all about dogs and cats and their future and where they've been, what they're doing. They tell on their parents, well, my mom's a germaphobe. She's all the things about their family, but Malia does want to be an architect, she told me on the way here, or an engineer, but she is leaning more towards an architect. But she on her own is also researching a future dog, but the dog has to meet mom's requirements because she is a germaphobe. I said, your mom sounds just like me. She wants a, what was it, Maltipoo? Was that Maltipoo? A Maltipoo. So I'm learning about animals as we go along here too. But she is also on our LJTV broadcasting team. And so we look forward to seeing what's going to get going very soon, and we look forward to hearing from her every Friday when she gets to speak on that. So we bring wonderful, wonderful people with us today, and thank you for all your support that you give us. And on another note, is her mother is a teacher at Purdue Elementary. So again, 2 students with 2 educators as parents. So I think job well done.
Next, we will have from Bonnier Elementary Principal, Dr. Catherine Gardner. We'll introduce you.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for having us here today. When we walked into the building, we were talking a little bit about the Board of Education and what that meant, and we saw pictures of the board, Dr. Scott, and Executive Cabinet, and the first thing that my Wildcat ladies here said were, hey, they've been in my classroom. And so that's such a, it's just a demonstration of the support that you all give to us, and we are so appreciative of that. I have some wonderful ladies that I want to introduce today. And the first one I want to introduce is Trinity Smith. Trinity, go ahead and stand up. This is Trinity, and I was in the same dilemma as these other folks where I said, I got all these awesome 5th graders, and I don't know which one to choose. And so I went to the teachers and said, it's got to be these 2. Like, it's got to be these 2 wonderful ladies. And so Trinity is one of them. And Trinity is very involved at the school. She's a member of Safety Patrol. And as I've said in the past, if you haven't done dismissal at an elementary school, then you have not done dismissal. And so Trinity makes sure that all of our little ones get from their classrooms up to the bus ramp or to the front of the building if they're a car rider. And so we depend on our Safety Patrol so much, and she does a fantastic job with that. Not only that, but she is also a member of the Partners Club, and so she helps out in those classrooms a couple of days a week. And they absolutely love her in there, and she loves being a part of that and being a support there. But when I asked the teachers, I said, well, tell me, why Trinity? They said, she has the biggest heart. And I think that's so important in today's world and climate. Both of these girls were recognized for the heart of what they do, and so we're thankful for both of them. But Trinity, I asked, we ate before we came here, and I said, well, what are you most proud of right now? Because we do a thing at Bonnier where we give Wildcat woo-hoos, and so we like to recognize students for whatever's going on, and right now she is most proud of her social studies grade. She chose academics. She said, last year I had an E, and I have worked so hard, and I'm connecting with it, and right now I have an A, so we're so proud of her. So this is Trinity, and we're so grateful that she's a Bonnier Wildcat. Next I have Samaya, and Samaya is so loved by her teachers, and in fact you're going to meet Ms. Hart in a second, and she said, oh, this is one of mine, I love Samaya. And she is so focused on academics. She does such a great job, and she tries so hard, and she works so hard for everything she has done. And her teachers recognize that. She's also incredibly willing to help anyone around her. In fact, we were leaving the school today, and her third grade teacher, Ms. Banks, was in the office, and she said, "Samaya, where are you going?" And she told her that she's being recognized today. Ms. Banks said, "Don't make me cry," but in the middle of it, she's really crying because she's so proud of all that Samaya has worked towards, and we're proud of her too. And when I asked Samaya, I said, "What are you so incredibly? What's your wildcat woohoo? What are you proud of?" She said, "You know what? Math and I, we're friends this year." So she is proud of that, and she's proud of the friendship that she has developed with Math, and she is working so hard, and we're so proud of her too. So this is Samaya Woolfolk. And I just gotta say, when I ate with them, I could see everything that I've seen at the school, but it was just even amplified. They opened doors for us, and they were taking our trash, and they exhibit such kindness. We have a shirt at the school that says, "Wildcats choose kindness." And these ladies choose kindness every day. And so it is so important about the academics, but it's so important to choose kindness every day and to share that. We talk about sharing that with our friends and our teachers and those around us. And so we're so thankful for that because we need more of that every day in our world. So I just want more round of applause for our two ladies here. And now we've got Miss Carden, Miss Tiny Carden. And goodness gracious, she is just a fantastic asset to our school. She is our EIP math teacher. She serves on our Guiding Coalition leadership team. And so in her role, she serves all grade levels across the board. She builds such incredible relationships with her kids. She is known as the candy lady because she's always got a bag of candy. We're always working for something with that bag of candy. And she's also known as the Diet Coke lady to help the teachers out too. But she is such an incredible asset. She helps us look at everything across grade level perspectives. She collaborates with all of the teachers, and they're all constantly trying to pull her in. "Can you come a little bit more today?" They love their relationship with you, and you're so important to our school, and we couldn't do what we do without you. So thank you for that. You got to watch out for her. I thought that I'm the quick walker in the building. Like people say they can hear me coming. But she kind of outdoes me a little bit. You got to watch out because she's got a rolling cart with her. So you got to watch the corners because wherever she goes, she's going to be a part of those classrooms, and she is eager to get in there and to work with those kids, and we're so thankful for that. And she's truly a blessing to our school for her optimism because everywhere she goes, we've got this, we can do this. And so we definitely love that about her, and she's always encouraging all of our teachers and all of our students, and we're so thankful for you. So Tanya Hart.
Thank you very much. It's always great to recognize the students and, of course, our teachers who get them to the level that they should get to and even beyond. So thank you all very much. Prairie High School's art teacher, Catherine Heller, has won many awards. Most recently, she was named the 2020 Georgia Secondary Art Educator of the Year by the Georgia Art Education Association. Would Ms. Heller please come forward at this time? Ms. Heller, we are proud of you for winning this award. We appreciate all the work you do with your students and have taken note that your students, artists, win state and national awards each year under your guidance. We also appreciate your service at the state level over the years, to include serving as president of the Georgia Art Education Association. This award is well deserved. Thank you. Our schools are very active family career and community leaders of American Chapter. Today, we are pleased to recognize two schools in the top 10 in the nation. Our students are among the top competitors from Georgia to advance to nationals, where they joined thousands of participants who competed in 30 different STAR events in Anaheim, California. First, we have Thompson Middle School. 6 students brought home 3 awards, to include 4 young ladies who placed in the top 10 in the nation. Would Thompson Middle students and their advisor, Ms. Lee Barrett, please come forward? Ms. Barrett, please introduce your students who are now freshmen at Northside High and tell us about their awards.
Okay, we have Rachel Klein and Megan Emmett. They did Environmental Ambassador, where they talked about the environmental hazards of the lotions that we use on our bodies. And their speech was amazing. Their speech was almost 10 minutes long. They had everything memorized. They were perfect. So they are awesome students. I'm sure I'm going to miss them. And then over here we have Emma Collins and Zoe Babcock, and they did a Girls Just Want to Have Fun trip, life event planning to Key West. They did an amazing job as well, as they had a board and a portfolio, and they really, all of them represented Austin extremely well. I'm very proud.
Seven of our Austin County High students brought home 3 awards that placed in the top 10 in the U.S. Their advisor, Ms. Shonda McFadden and Ms. Brittany Tolson, were also recognized, with Ms. McFadden receiving the Advisor's Mentor Award and Ms. Tolson earning the Master Advisor Award. Will Ms. McFadden and Ms. Tolson please come forward at this time with your students? Every year, we're proud to recognize you and your students for your success at the National Leadership Conference. Congratulations to both of you and both of your students' achievements and your advisors award. Please introduce your students and tell us about this event.
All right, so today we have with us Christina Espinosa and Megan Tell, and they competed in Illustrated Talk. We also have Emma Owens and Maddie Hagman, and they competed in Focus on Children. We actually had 7 students that went with us competing in STAR events, and all of our groups placed within the top 5 of the nation, and they were up against teams that had more than 50 competitors with them. So it's great for them to have that level of success. 2 of our students that could not attend today, they actually could attend because they graduated, and one is at the University of Georgia, the other is at Brown, and both of them can attribute their success and where they're at right now as college students to their experiences with FCCLA. So we're so proud of our students and how well they have represented our program and our school in the entire county.
Big congratulations to everyone. this time, we will have a motion to adopt our agenda. Ms. Hughes.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to adopt the agenda as presented with the omission of item F to be addressed in a later meeting.
It has been motioned and seconded that we adopt the agenda with the elimination of, to remove item F on the new business to be brought to a new meeting. All in favor of the motion, please show right hand. Thank you. Minutes from the previous meeting.
Yes, I'd also like to make a motion to adopt or to approve our minutes from our previous meeting.
It has been motioned and seconded that we approve the minutes from the previous meeting. All in favor of the motion, please show right hand. Thank you. Our board member comments. Board members, if you would like to make any comment at this time, feel free to do so. Thank you. I would like to make a comment and pay a tribute and thank you, a big thank you for some accomplishments this past week. This past week, our First Baptist Church tutoring ministry began serving our students in the community. But in order for us to do what we want to do, and that is make our students high achieving students, we needed a team of people, experts, to come before us and give some training and teaching and techniques and things like that. And this past week, this past Thursday, Ms. Lasagna Fryson put together a team and brought them there, and I'm here to tell you, they broke every step down so smooth and so that everybody can understand what it takes in order to be a tutor for these kids, no matter what grade level. We tutor from K through 12th grade. And they focus on math and reading as we asked them to. And I'm here to tell you, it was great. Ms. Frost, you and your team came together and it helped to educate our tutors, so our tutors could help to educate our students. So I want to say on behalf of First Baptist Church, our church family, our Pastor Gervin, thank you for what you all did to help us, to help our students. Thank you all very much. Next on our agenda will be our superintendent's report. Dr. Scott.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We've been in school now for almost 6 weeks, and our numbers have continued to grow. We've grown about 360 students this year, and I expect that number to continue to go up as we near the October count, our official count, and where we do our official comparisons. And our executive team has been out in schools and along with some board members, and we've had an opportunity to see all the PLC work going on in our schools, and that's been a focus for our school district for several years now. But we're very proud of the work that's going on out in our schools. So thank you to our administrators and our teachers for all that hard work. Our elementary schools sent home their first progress report on September the 4th, and I'm glad to hear that y'all's grades are where you expected them to be. And those middle school and high school students that are here, I'm sad to say, but you're going to have a progress report coming home on the 17th. So you'll be looking forward to that. But no, all seriously, there's a lot going on in our schools this time of year. We've got a lot of athletic events with football, softball, volleyball, cheerleading, cross country. I know our schools are getting ready for the one-act plays, and so there's a lot of activities. And for the students here, I just encourage you to get involved and participate in those activities and make your school experience a great one. This week we kicked off our United Way campaign. It is our goal this year to exceed $82,000, which will be a 5% increase for us. We were recognized by United Way earlier in the year for being in the top 25, and Beth and I both have a goal for our district to be in the top 10. So if you have any ways to support the United Way, every penny counts and goes to help less fortunate in our community to be successful. And then finally, I do want to recognize Dr. Shaw and his family. He will honor 31 of our teachers of gifted and talented students here in the boardroom at 4 p.m. Tomorrow. Dr. Shaw and his family will present each one of those teachers with a $500 check. So they're contributing over $15,000 to go directly to help the classrooms and help the teachers to teach our gifted students. And the Shaw family has been recognizing our teachers since 2001, and they're very proud of the education that their children got. They attended Houston County schools, and they continue to give back, and what a great example they are for our community. And with that, I'll turn it back over to you, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Last night in our work session, we had a chance to go over department reports. Board members, are there any comments for department reports? Now we'll go directly into new business. The first item on the agenda on the new business will be local school board training. Dave.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve as presented the local school board training plan for 2019.
It has been motioned and seconded that we approve the local school board training plan for 2019. All in favor of the motion, please show right hand. Thank you. Next item will be the intergovernmental agreement for right-of-way for Thompson Mill Road, Whitman. Rick.
Yes, sir. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the intergovernmental agreement for the right-of-way for Thompson Mill Road, Whitman.
Second.
It has been motioned and seconded that we approve the intergovernmental agreement for right-of-way for Thompson Mill Road, Whitman. All in favor of the motion, please show right hand. Thank you. The financial report, Laura.
Yes, sir. I'd like to make a motion to approve the financial reports for June and July and the preliminary report for August as presented last night.
Second. It's been motioned and seconded that we approve the financial report for June, July, and preliminary for August as presented on last evening. All in favor of the motion, please show right hand. Thank you. Our purchasing report, Brian.
Yes, sir. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to approve the September 2019 purchases as presented with a total financial impact of $458,000, $458,029.04. Second.
It has been motioned and seconded that we approve the September purchasing report in the amount of $458,029.04. All in favor of the motion, please show right hand. Thank you. Our Flint overhead and underground right-of-way easement for Huntington Middle School. Hope.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a request that we approve the Flint overhead and underground right-of-way easement. The financial is for the existing power lines to go to the Vector Center, which will not affect our power located near Huntington Middle School. Financial impact of $1.
Second.
It has been motioned and seconded that we approve the Flint overhead and underground right-of-way easement for Huntington Middle School in the amount of $1. All in favor of the motion, please show right hand. Thank you very much. The next item on the agenda was item F that was asked to be removed in the adoption of the agenda. That item has been removed. The next item will be the amendment 16 to Warner Robins High School theater renovation.
Yes, I move that we approve amendment number 16 between the Houston County School District and Harris Construction Group for the theater renovation project at Warner Robins High School with a financial impact of $796,591 out of East Boston.
Second. It has been motioned and seconded that we approve amendment number 16 for Warner Robins High School theater renovation with the funds of $796,591 coming from the East Plaza. All in favor of the motion, please show right hand. Thank you. And the personnel report. Laura.
Yes, sir, thank you. I'd like to make a motion to approve the personnel reports as presented last night.
It has been motioned and seconded that we approve the September personnel report as presented on last evening. All in favor of the motion, please show right hand. Thank you. And we have a couple of individual personnel actions. Hope.
Yes, sir, I'd like to recommend that the termination of Mrs. Irishika Royal's employment as a custodian to job due to job abandonment.
Second.
It has been motioned and seconded that we approve the superintendent's recommendation to terminate employment for Ms. Irika Royal's employment due to job abandonment. All in favor of the motion, please show of right hand. Thank you. And the second one?
Yes, sir, I'd like to also recommend the termination of Mr. John Moss's employment as a bus driver due also to job abandonment.
Second.
It has been motioned and seconded that we approve the superintendent's recommendation to terminate the employment for Mr. John Moss as a bus driver due to job abandonment. All in favor of the motion, please show right hand. Thank you. I believe those are all the items that we have on the agenda at this time. Any additional? If not, can I have a motion to adjourn? Sorry. It's been motioned and seconded that we adjourn. All in favor of the motion, please show right hand. Thank you all very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you to everyone who